All right, let's talk about something I'm sure a lot of you have felt. If you're a developer using AI, you know that feeling, right? That mix of incredible power 1 minute and just soul-crushing frustration the next. You feel like a coding god, and then suddenly you're just burning through time and credits with absolutely nothing to show for it. Well, today we're going to dive into a pretty powerful new protocol that's designed to fix this, to make AI coding a whole lot less of a gamble.
So here's the game plan. We're going to start by really digging into what I'm calling the AI coding gamble. Then we'll introduce the solution, which is the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. After that, we'll see it in action, how it makes for more reliable code, how it can automate your entire workflow, and maybe the coolest part, how you can actually build your own.
Okay, so let's get right into it. The way we use AI for coding right now, yeah, it feels a lot like playing a slot machine, doesn't it? You write your prompt, you pull the lever, and you just hope. You hope you hit the jackpot of perfect code. But let's be honest, most of the time, that's not what happens.
And this right here just nails that feeling perfectly. Something that should have been simple spirals into this multi-day nightmare. You're spending real money, real time, all just to build something that's, well, not even as good as what you started with. This story is super common, and man, is it frustrating.
And this really shows the huge disconnect happening in the AI world. On one hand, you hear these amazing stories from companies like NVIDIA, right? They're saying every single one of their engineers is AI-assisted, and productivity is just through the roof. But for so many of us actually doing the work, the reality feels a lot more like a vicious cycle of failed prompts.
Yeah? And that cycle, it's got a name. The prompt treadmill of hell. You know what I'm talking about. You're just burning through credits, endlessly tweaking your inputs, hoping for a different result, but you're just not getting what you need. And that is the core problem we have to solve if we want to unlock what AI can really do for us.
But what if we could make AI coding more reliable, more, deterministic? Well, that's where the solution comes in. It's called the Model Context Protocol, and it's all about turning that AI gamble into something predictable, something repeatable. So what is it, really? At its heart, an MCP server is basically a universal adapter. You can think of it like a translator that lets your AI coding assistant talk reliably with all the other tools and systems it needs to get the job done right.
And the really cool part is just how versatile it is. I mean, an MCP can connect your AI to a design app running right there on your local machine, to a remote server somewhere that executes code, or even to critical third-party APIs that your whole application depends on.
And the process itself is actually super simple. Just imagine the MCP server is like this incredibly skilled interpreter in a conversation. The AI agent makes a request, but in its own language. The MCP server jumps in, translates that into a perfect command the external system understands. Then, when the system responds, the MCP translates that data back into a structured, reliable format. We're talking clean JSON with a schema that the AI can use. It just completely eliminates all the guesswork.
Okay, so the theory is great, but let's see what this actually looks like in the real world. We're going to look at two examples that hit on some really common, and let's be real, often super frustrating developer tasks, generating front-end code and integrating a payments API.
Oh man, anyone who's used AI with a newer framework like Svelte has seen this. Without any context, the AI just hallucinates React code right into your Svelte project. It's maddening. But with the Svelte MCP, you use a simple command, give the AI the right context, and bam! It uses static analysis and an auto-fixer to make sure the code it generates is actually correct. The difference is just night and day.
All right, now let's raise the stakes a little. You're building a payment system. This is the kind of thing you absolutely, positively cannot screw up because the AI hallucinated a deprecated API call. This is where an MCP for a service like Stripe becomes completely essential.
And this is exactly what makes the Stripe MCP so powerful. It gets rid of the guesswork. It makes sure the AI is pulling docs for the exact API version you're using. It gives it safe tools to work with live data. It just turns a really high-risk task into a reliable, automated process. So, we've seen how MCPs can make our code better, but their real power, the true game changer, is in connecting the entire development workflow, from that first design all the way to deployment and even maintenance. And this is where you start to see a whole ecosystem popping up. You can connect your AI to Figma and turn designs straight into code, or hook it into Sentry to analyze and fix runtime errors. You can even connect it to GitHub to handle tickets, or to AWS to manage your infrastructure. It's the whole shebang. I mean, just pause and think about that for a second. An issue gets filed in Jira,
Your AI assistant, connected through an MCP, pulls that ticket, figures out the problem, fixes the code, and then closes the ticket for you. This isn't just about writing code faster. We're talking about automating entire loops of the development process.
Okay, but here's what might be the most powerful part of all this. This technology isn't some black box locked away somewhere. The protocol is open, and that means you can extend it for your own unique needs and build your very own custom server.
Yeah, because the protocol is standardized and there are frameworks out there for most major languages, you have the power to build your own MCP server. Seriously, you could build one to connect to a proprietary internal database or to manage your smart home devices, really to interact with any custom system you can dream up.
And that, ultimately, is the real takeaway here. The power of MCPs is all about getting AI coding off that unpredictable slot machine and turning it into a deterministic, powerful tool that you get to customize and control. So, I'll leave you with this question. What's the most tedious, repetitive, or just plain error-prone part of your workflow that you could solve by building your very first MCP server?